The inherited mystery is a classic narrative framework where a protagonist discovers an enigmatic legacy, often from a deceased or absent family member, that thrusts them into a dangerous quest. This trope thrives on themes of hidden truths, unresolved pasts, and the weight of familial legacy. In The Treasure Hunter's Last Map, Ethan Carter's journey begins when he receives his grandfather's journal, a relic that bridges generations and ignites an adventure steeped in secrets. The emotional core of this story type lies in the protagonist's relationship with the person who left the mystery behind. Victor Langley isn't just a famous treasure hunter. He's a grandfather who vanished under suspicious circumstances, leaving behind whispers of madness or failure. Ethan, struggling with his own tarnished reputation, sees this as a chance for redemption, not just for himself, but for his family's name. The journal isn't merely a plot device. It's a symbolic inheritance, forcing Ethan to confront questions he never asked while Victor was alive. What makes this narrative compelling is the slow unraveling of the past. The clues aren't just about treasure, they're breadcrumbs left by someone who knew the truth was too dangerous to share openly. The mystery often starts as a puzzle, a map, a coded message, an artifact, but evolves into something far darker. In this case, Victor's final warning, "They are not human," shifts the tone from adventurous to ominous, making Ethan question whether his grandfather was a visionary or a doomed man who saw too much. The inherited mystery also serves as a catalyst for the protagonist's growth. Ethan begins as a skeptic, dismissing Victor's ramblings as the delusions of a man consumed by his obsession. But as he follows the trail, he starts to see the world through his grandfather's eyes, realizing too late that some legends are warnings in disguise. By the time he uncovers the truth, he's no longer just an outsider looking for answers. He's the last line of defense against what Victor failed to contain. Ultimately, this story type plays on the fear of the unknown and the burden of legacy. The protagonist doesn't just inherit a mystery, they inherit the consequences of it. In The Treasure Hunter's Last Map, Ethan's journey is as much about solving Victor's final riddle as it is about breaking the cycle of obsession before it consumes him too. The best inherited mysteries leave us wondering, would we have followed the same path, or would we have burned the journal and walked away? Every great adventure hinges on the moment when the lone protagonist realizes they can't face the unknown alone. Assembling the team is a storytelling staple, particularly in treasure hunts, heists, and quests, where the hero must recruit a group of specialists, each bringing unique skills, perspectives, and personal baggage to the journey. In The Treasure Hunter's Last Map, Ethan Carter doesn't just need companions. He needs a makeshift family to survive a legend that has already claimed his grandfather. This stage of the story serves multiple purposes beyond mere logistics. First, it establishes the dynamics that will drive both conflict and camaraderie. Ethan, a disgraced historian, is a man of theory, but theory won't keep him alive in the jungle. Enter Dr. Sophia Reyes, the archaeologist whose skepticism grounds the team in reality, and Javier "Javi" Mendez, the ex-military guide whose humor masks a survivor's instincts. These aren't just functional roles, they're contrasting worldviews. Sophia represents reason, dismissing supernatural claims until the evidence is undeniable, while Javi's local superstitions hint at truths Ethan initially ignores. Their friction keeps the audience guessing. Is this a wild goose chase, or is the horror real? Then there's the wild card, Lena Volkova, the mercenary who offers funding in exchange for a cut of the treasure. Her presence introduces an element of distrust, raising the stakes. Is she an ally, or does she have her own agenda? Spoiler, she does. The best team assemblies include someone who might betray the group, because it forces the others to question motives at every turn. Lena's ruthlessness contrasts with Ethan's moral ambiguity. He's desperate enough to accept her help, but not so far gone that he's willing to sacrifice innocence. This tension keeps the team from feeling like a monolithic unit. They're alliances of convenience, not friendship, at least at first. The setting of their meeting, a rundown Lima bar, all flickering neon and wary glances, reinforces the noir-tinged danger of their mission. This isn't a government-sanctioned dig. It's a backroom deal with people who operate in shadows. The scene's atmosphere does heavy lifting, conveying that even before they step into the jungle, they're already in treacherous territory. But why does assembling the team resonate so deeply? Because it mirrors our own fears and desires. Facing the unknown is terrifying. Doing it alone is unbearable. The team becomes a microcosm of survival, where trust is both necessary and risky. By the time they're fleeing shadow creatures in the ruins, their bonds have been forged in desperation, making eventual betrayals or sacrifices hit harder. In the end, this story type isn't just about skill sets. It's about testing loyalties under pressure. The treasure isn't the only thing buried. So are the secrets each member carries. And as the city collapses around them, those secrets will either save them or get them killed. The discovery of a lost city is the crescendo of any great treasure-hunting tale. But the City of Shadows is more than just ruins. It is a graveyard of ambition, a place where the past bleeds into the present, and where every step forward comes with a price. This is not a relic to be studied. It is a warning to be feared. From the moment Ethan and his team breach the city's threshold, the air itself feels wrong, thick with the weight of centuries, humming with the energy that prickles the skin. The architecture defies logic, with structures that twist at unnatural angles and corridors that seem to shift when no one is looking. The city is not abandoned. It is waiting. The shadows here are deeper, darker, as if the light fears to touch them. This is a place out of time, where the laws of nature fray at the edges and the team's grip on reality begins to slip. Victor Langley's skeleton, slumped against the pedestal of the artifact, is the grim punchline to a joke they've only just begun to understand. His journal's final words, "It doesn't unlock treasure, it keeps them trapped," reframe everything. The treasure was never gold or jewels, it was survival. The artifact is a lock, and Lina's greed becomes the key that unleashes what should have stayed buried. The moment she pries it free, the city wakes. The ground trembles not from collapse, but from something stirring beneath it. The shadows peel away from the walls, taking shape, and the team realizes the mural wasn't art. It was a history book. What makes the City of Shadows so chilling is its inevitability. Every step the team took, every clue followed, every sacrifice made, led them here to a horror they were never meant to witness. The city is a predator, and they are the lure. The shadows don't just kill, they consume, absorbing their victims in a way that suggests this is how the city sustains itself. Lena's fate is the ultimate irony. The mercenary who wanted to possess the city's power instead becomes part of it, her body dissolving into the very darkness she sought to exploit. In the end, the city is more than a setting. It is a character, a force, a living testament to the folly of those who think some secrets are meant to be uncovered. When the ruins sink back into the earth, it's not a defeat. It's the city reclaiming what was briefly taken. And as Ethan and Sophia flee, they carry with them the knowledge that some doors, once opened, can never truly be closed again. The City of Shadows lingers long after the screen fades to black, a reminder that the greatest terrors aren't those we run from, but those we unwittingly awaken. The escape is not just a frantic rush to safety. It is the moment when every lesson learned, every bond forged, and every sacrifice made is put to the ultimate test. In the treasure hunter's last map, the flight from the City of Shadows is not a retreat. It is a harrowing metamorphosis, where the characters shed their last illusions about the world and themselves. From the instant Lena removes the artifact, the city ceases to be a ruin and becomes a living nightmare. The ground trembles not with the violence of collapse, but with the hunger of something ancient stirring beneath their feet. The shadows detach from the walls, elongating into figures that move with predatory intelligence. This is no longer an expedition. It is a hunt, and the team are the prey. What makes this escape so visceral is its brutality. There is no time for grand speeches or clever strategies. Instinct takes over. Javi's sacrifice at the bridge is not a heroic stand. It is the act of a man who knows, with chilling certainty, that some of them won't make it out. His explosion doesn't just buy time, it severs the team's last tether to the world they knew. The blast lights up the unnatural darkness for a fleeting moment, revealing the true scale of what pursues them. Not mere creatures, but the city itself, its tendrils of shadow surging forward like a tide. Lena's demise is the escape's dark heart. Her greed made her the catalyst, but her end is not triumphant villainy. The shadows don't kill her, they absorb her. Her body contorts, her screams muffled as the darkness fills her mouth, her eyes, until she is no longer a woman, but another wailing specter in the city's chorus. It's a fate worse than death, and it underscores the escape's central truth. In this place, there are no winners, only survivors. Ethan and Sophia's flight is a study in desperation. Every stumble, every close call strips them further down to their rawest selves. The jungle, once an obstacle, now feels like a sanctuary, if they can reach it. When they finally burst into the sunlight, gasping and bloodied, their relief is tempered by the knowledge that the city isn't gone. It's simply waiting. The true horror of the escape lies in what it costs. They leave behind Javi's body, Lena's humanity, and any pretense that the world is a knowable place. The treasure they sought was never gold. It was the grim understanding that some doors, once opened, cannot be closed. Their victory is survival, but it is a survival that haunts. The final act of the treasure hunter's last map doesn't conclude with triumphant fanfare or neat resolution. It lingers like the embers of a fire that refuses to die. The cycle continues is a storytelling device that transforms what could have been an ending into something far more haunting, a pause in an endless loop of obsession and consequence. As Ethan and Sophia burn Victor's journals in the film's closing moments, the flames consume more than paper. They devour the illusion of control. This act feels like defiance, a ritual to sever themselves from the nightmare. Yet the very need to destroy the knowledge speaks volumes. They understand now that some truths are too dangerous to preserve. The firelight flickers across their faces, not with warmth, but with the pallor of survivors who can never unsee what they've witnessed. Their hands are clean, but their souls remain stained. The genius of this ending lies in its false catharsis. On the surface, it appears to offer resolution. The artifact is lost, the city buried, the shadows contained. But the post-credit scene, with its government agent examining a vial of swirling darkness, rips that comfort away. It whispers that their sacrifice may have been meaningless, that institutions with more resources and fewer scruples are already dissecting the evil they barely escaped. The cycle isn't broken, it's simply changing hands. This mirrors Ethan's arc in a devastating way. He entered the jungle seeking to redeem his grandfather's legacy, only to become the next link in the chain. Victor's final journal entry warned of them, but the true horror is realizing they are not just the shadows, but the endless parade of humans who will keep chasing the forbidden. The treasure hunter's curse isn't death. It's the knowledge that someone will always follow in your footsteps, no matter how many maps you burn. The jungle itself becomes symbolic here. In the first act, it was a place to be conquered. Now, as the camera pulls back in the final shot, the Amazon sprawls endlessly, hiding countless other secrets. The wilderness always wins. The true city of shadows isn't the ruins, it's the collective darkness of human curiosity that no amount of fire can purge. The cycle continues, leaves audiences with a question that chills deeper than any jump scare. When the next fool comes searching for the legend, will the shadows remember how to taste human fear? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.